All right, all right. I probably should do an intro song to let people come in. Pause tonight. I know it's super late, super late. I wish I did this stream a couple hours early, but just getting back from the gym, wanted to kind of unwind from that, and then wanted to. Honestly, I don't know if I pulled something. My shoulder, and my neck has been kind of acting up, really since I was messing with my car. Just laying on that fucking concrete just really fucked me up. Being old. Is anything even on the screen? Okay. There I am. So it's super late. Nobody's here. But that notwithstanding, that makes it the 117th episode of VW Casual. We'll just do it old school. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Shit, my first stream, nobody was here. So if nobody shows up, that's all. Well, it's late. You guys need to get your sleep. Hopefully you guys can check this out tomorrow morning or whenever and kind of treat it like a podcast. We like the interaction, but this can be thought of as more of a podcast episode since I don't expect too big of a turnout. When I did Synthwave Saturday night, I didn't get a big turnout. Just because it's also Saturday night. So, that's obviously fun night for people to get out, get going. Hopefully I can do some of that. Like I said, I'm going back to the gym. Trying to get out of my shell. Trying to get a little healthier, too. Get back on the fruit. Pause. Train and, cook for myself. That sort of thing. That sort of stuff. Try to get myself healthy in this crazy, crazy world. We are going to talk about your guy, Elon. And, guys give me feedback in the chat. Maybe if this is going to be smooth. I just clipped this out. We're also going to talk about some sports. Some fake sports and some faker sports. As far as the Lakers sports. Because the Lakers have made a blockbuster trade for trading Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic. A trade that I didn't see coming. Now, granted, I have not been paying attention to the NBA this season. I'm pretty down the NBA. I think a lot of people are. That's been a recurring theme. But this is a crazy trade. I was under the impression that the championship window for the Lakers had closed. I was under the impression that LeBron James was not going to win another championship. And I'm not saying that has necessarily changed, but it's definitely a lot more possible, provided, because both players, ironically, are hurt. Anthony Davis has his history of injury. Luka Doncic doesn't necessarily have the same history, even though he's had his, times missing. He's definitely had injuries in his career. And there's been a big question since he got in the league about his conditioning. So maybe the Mavs know something the Lakers don't. But then to trade for someone who is much more noted with his fragility, though the past few years he's been a lot more reliable, in Anthony Davis, doesn't seem like the trade you would make. It's surprising for the Mavs. It's surprising for the Mavs. Not saying that it's not surprising also for the Lakers. Anthony Davis has been probably their best player the past 5 years. Oh, no disrespect to LeBron. When healthy, he could have easily got that MVP in the finals. I know a lot of people talk about the bubble year. A lot of people disparage the bubble championship. I'm kind of mid on disparaging it and also remembering how crazy the offensive numbers across the board were. If you remember, guys were shooting the lights out in the bubble. It was a different, it was so different. So it was hard to judge. And honestly, any team that won that was going to get criticized. But at the same time, there's a lot of criticism of LeBron James. He has another championship in a shortened year, 2012 year. So, for whatever it's worth, that bubble championship happened. And I thought that was it. That still might be it, because if Luka does have a conditioning issue, and we know how the media scrutiny is just intensified around LeBron James for both him and the players around him. And then there's also the apologists for him and the players around him that come up, and just that friction and that, similar to the political debate that we end up having. we have that with LeBron James and just whoever he's playing with, whether it's Kyrie, now AD, other players, Dwayne Wade, and obviously Chris Bosh and Kevin Love. All got a lot of criticism. LeBron gets a lot of criticism. LeBron gets a lot of praise. It's just that that's why he's such a oft used figure by sports media, because he's such a polarizing figure. Similar to John Cena, who we'll get into in the Royal Rumble, even though John Cena has a lot more goodwill since he's been gone and wrestling's gotten, I don't even want to say worse. I was happy with this Royal Rumble, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's just talk about Luka. And so anyways, all the scrutiny, all the things aside, from a basketball standpoint, if both healthy, you would think that, I don't know who got the better of the trade. Now, there's other players involved. There was another team involved. I think Utah was involved. I don't remember all the players. Maybe Markieff Morris is one of them. I don't remember all the other players outside of the big two, which is Luka and AD. The reason I pause is because Luka, while he can play defense, he definitely went through a stretch in the playoffs when it mattered most of playing solid defense up until the finals. And then that kind of, people wondered about the conditioning. That's another can of worms. Or that is the can of worms. That may be the reason that he got traded. I did hear that as a potential thing. That's why I keep bringing it up. That Luka's conditioning is not up to snuff according to what the Mavs want. And so they don't want to pay him long term. I don't know where the contracts are either. That's something else to think about. If I would imagine AD is probably closer to the end of his contract than Luka. So that may be the thought of, hey, let's get something in return. And if we can't sign AD, at least we get the cap space. I don't know. Somebody could correct me. Either, live somebody shows up, or later if this gets clipped out, or just, the playback. But whatever the case may be, Luka Doncic is now a LA Laker. I thought he was going to be with the Mavs forever. I'm surprised they trade him. We will see what happens with that. And how is Kyrie and AD going to fit? That should, that seems interesting. It's crazy that it's crazy that the Mavs now are basically, built around Kyrie and AD. And they just went to the finals. It's like they just went to the finals. They just traded their best player. That's crazy. How often does that happen? I guess that happened to Moses Malone way back in the day. He went to the finals with the Houston Rockets. Got traded to Philadelphia. Helped to win them a championship. Technically, he was our second best player, but back in did we go to the finals or conference finals that year? Adrian Dantley was our top scorer for the Pistons. Most people would have thought of Isaiah Thomas as the best player when you had to pass points and assists, but Adrian Dantley was one of the top scorers, and I think the top scorer for the Pistons back in the late 80s, and we traded him. I'm trying to think of other cases where you have a top-tier player from a finals or finals contending team. I mean, it happens. Obviously, going back to the Pistons, we had that trade for Sheet, but again, trading someone away, I mean, after a run, I mean, that whole Dallas Mavericks going back to them and Bron in 2011, after Dallas beat the Miami Heat, the Heatles, that was kind of it. And a lot of people from that team, they ended up basically dismantling that team. Guys like Tyson Chandler and eventually Jason Kidd and a lot of that Dept, Jason Terry, a lot of the people who made that team what it was. Obviously, Dirk stayed, but the rest, the help kind of left and was traded away or signed away. So, I'm just trying to think of how rare it is for something like this to happen, because at the end of the day, the Mavericks just went to the finals. They just got rid of Luka Doncic. But they also got a player who, when healthy, is a better defender. Who's a better player between the two? All things considered. My first thought was Luka, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not willing to die on a hill to say Luka's better than AD. Because when AD's playing, especially on both sides of the ball, he can be dominant. So I don't know. We'll see who got the better of the trade. I can guess, I can speculate, I can think. We'll see. Time will tell. It could be a win-win, could be a lose-lose. Neither guy could fit. Or, they each could one out and want to go somewhere else. Who knows? Who knows? Crazy stuff. Did not have that on my bingo card when I woke up this morning. I didn't have that on my bingo card when I left to go to the gym. But right before I left to go to the gym, I saw the Royal Rumble. And I thought it was okay. Thought it was good, really. Good. The Women's Rumble was cool. The Men's Rumble was cool. Shock winner. Don't get a lot of those. Which I like the shock winner. There's a lot of controversy. Jey Uso. Day one-ish. It's just me, Us. He won the Royal Rumble. I mean, Rey Mysterio won. A guy who shall not be named by the WWE, Chris Benoit won. Alberto Del Rio won. I'm trying to think of guys since the Royal Rumble has become what it's become, where the winner gets the world title shot at WrestleMania. Because the first couple years it wasn't. Because Hacksaw Jim Duggan, I think, won the first one or something like that. But since that's been the stipulation, there are very few unpredictable winners / not top guy winners. It does happen from time to time. That's why I'm trying to bring up those names. But it doesn't happen that often. I mean, 05 you had John Cena, but was it 05 John Cena and Batista throw themselves out at the same time? And then Vince tears both of his quads? The 06. Because I'm thinking at the time, while both were very much on the come up and ready to be the next guy, but I mean, you don't think Jey Uso's one of those type of guys, though. That's the thing. You know what I mean? And I think Batista ended up winning. I want to say it was 05. I walk alone. I'm sorry, I scared Zeus. What are you doing? Oh, never mind. But, that was a case where you thought, even though Batista was old, Batista got into wrestling late. He was in his 30s. But you still thought, okay, we're going to get at least 5 to 8 years out of both of these guys, in which they did. They got more out of John. Hell, John's still there. John was the guy everyone thought was going to win this time. Either John or Punk or Roman. And so the way the Rumble ended, I was happy with it. I've been pretty critical. I mean, I haven't really talked too much about wrestling on this channel. But, when I talk to Richard, or if I'm in a forum or on someone else's page, shout out to Master Marks. Sometimes I go on his page. It's been a while, but I'll go on his page from time to time. I watch more of his videos. I'm not always in his lives. But I do watch his videos and sometimes comment. The Hater, what's his name? C-Jax. There's a few guys, Word Lifer, who are pretty critical of the product. I've been pretty critical of the product. I've been pretty critical of Triple H's booking, saying he doesn't take enough risks, saying everything's too predictable. And this was not that. And I thought he booked a really good Rumble. I thought he booked a really good men's Rumble as far as intrigue, as far as the ending, as far as energy. I thought he did a really good job. I've been very critical, and I still am critical of Triple H as a booker. There's a lot of controversy, though, about Jey Uso. A lot of people don't believe in Jey Uso. There is also, man, he's probably just going to go for Gunther's belt, which doesn't really have the prestige. Then again, how else do you get it prestige? At the end of the day, as critical as I also am of the talent and the booking, they have the guys they have. Now, it was cool to see AJ Styles back with the old music. And then there's guys like Shinsuke and Finn that need rehab bad. Obviously, Cena's going to be back. What's interesting about Jey Uso winning, and this is why I do like it. Now I have to watch the next 8 to 9 weeks. And now the comfort zone Triple H has been in, which to me has been the biggest criticism, he has to get out of. My issue with Triple H, amongst others, is he's too fucking slow. and he doesn't have enough beats of a story, and these stories are too vanilla. Now, the Bloodline, which supposedly is Paul Heyman, has been a solid storyline. Not perfect all the time, but it's been a solid storyline off and on since its inception, 5 or so years ago. It still goes into the Vince era. But outside that, even including some of that, I mean, I don't know if Roman has been used the best. They have really done a good job pushing Solo Sikoa and that Bloodline. He didn't show up. That was another guy who was missing from the Rumble. No Solo Sikoa. So that's interesting. I'm not sure how long he's out. I'm not sure if he's hurt or if it's just storyline. We'll see what goes on with that. Are they going to do Solo Sikoa Roman for the Mania? Brandon Howard, finally somebody shows up. I talked about that in the first segment, but I'll definitely get into it as we keep going. Yeah, that Luka trade is crazy. So they pissed off all of Dallas and Europe. Hey, Fizz. Are they finally sending out my notifications? I was talking about a little wrestling, a little basketball. Then we'll get into Elon and politics. But yeah, that trade is crazy. What do you think of it? I don't know what to make of it. I think it could be a win-win or a lose-lose. Yeah, we meant to trade Kyrie. That's the thing. My brother said maybe there's an issue in the locker room, but I'm like, if Kyrie's an issue, you would trade him. You wouldn't trade Luka. I heard a rumor that they're scared of his condition. I talked about it earlier. I just talked about it. That there may be an issue. We were drunk on a Saturday night. Wasn't expecting to stream. I wasn't expecting to stream until they traded Luka. Not just doing the Elon shit, but they traded Luka. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. And Elon Musk is in the Treasury department. I'm like, well, I guess I might as well stream. I know it's late, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they do. They had Dirk forever. I didn't think they would ever trade Luka. I never thought he seemed like he's untradeable. Europe ain't gonna like Dallas no more, bro. Trade him for a brother. Traded a European for a black man. No. All jokes aside, I'm still shocked at that trade. They must have some serious questions about his condition. That's the only thing I could think of. Or his health. Him and AD are both injured right now. So we'll see how that is. Exactly. Same thing. Like the Rockets trying to just trade Yao Ming. It's like, what? Which they never did. They kept it there, even though he didn't play the longest career. He got about 10 or 11 years. It was a good center. And, I know you're in the Houston area. I'm in the Houston area. There is a decent Asian population out here in Houston. So, that would have been just as crazy. And it just seemed like it came out of nowhere. They just went to the finals last year. I was talking about that. It's so rare. And I'll get back to the Jey Uso thing because, if someone was listening to this straight through, I just kind of derailed the conversation because now people are back. People are finally showing up. But it's so rare to go to a finals and then trade your best player the next year. Like, I can't think of too many times. I talked about Moses Malone way back in the day. Maybe it happened to Wilt. Now that I'm talking about it again. Did the Bullets go to the finals when they traded Clyde? No, not Clyde Frazier. Earl Monroe. I'm about to say Clyde Monroe. Not like it. Yeah, conditioning, I'm going to the gym and getting cardio in. He can get cardio in. He is looking a little chubby. I did see a recent picture. Like, he is looking a little chubby. But I wouldn't have traded him because he's a little chubby. Like, shit, just, tell him to put down the hot chicken and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Let me look up Luka Doncic's stats. How about that? Let's look up his stats and compared to what AD is doing. I'm just still flabbergasted. Flabbergasted by that trade. And again, I don't know if it's a good one or a bad one. It could be a great trade. It could be a horrible one. I'm almost feeling like it's going to be a lose-lose. I'm going to be honest. Because I don't see where, well, I don't know. It could work out. It could be a win-win because of maybe Kyrie and AD have more chemistry. I don't know. A bit of diet, hormones, back to normal. He's only 25. Jesus. Okay, let's see. He is. Yeah, he's only 25. Yeah, he was 19 when he started, so that makes sense. 7th year. Goodness, his scoring's gone down, but he's giving you 3-point percentage. He's always been an iffy 3-point percentage guy, right? He's had a couple of good years, 35%. It's about average. He does take a lot of them, so that's a criticism a lot of people have had. When he's hot, last year he was at 38, which is all right. That's good, but 35 is about average. Just be taking 9 of them. But 46% shooting, 28 points, almost 8 assists, 8 boards. What is his defense? Defensive stats, that's a whole can of worms. I'm trying usually to advance. His box plus minus is 7. Defensive box plus minus 1.4. Let's look at AD. And actually, I meant to check games. Oh, man. So Luka hasn't played as much. So AD, ironically, has been the healthier of the two. And shit, man. AD might be the better of the two. He's giving you 25, damn near 12 boards. Okay, less assists. But then he's giving you 2 blocks and a steal. And, let me just check his defensive box plus minus. Going back to the advance for what that's worth. Well, he has less box plus minus and a similar defensive box plus minus. 1.2. Luka's 1.4. It's a little bit higher. So, and he's giving you, he's giving you 2 steals, though. Luka's giving you 2 steals. So, I can't totally just say it's a wash defensively. Luka, when he want to play defense, he can play defense. Like you said, bit of diet, little hormones. He should be back to normal. Yeah, it is kind of like Goff and Stafford, where you just you don't see super big names. Somebody says it's the biggest trade in history, and at first I'm like, man. And you say, wait, when the fucking last time you see a trade like this? I remember when there's a few NFL trades, you mentioned Goff and Stafford. I remember back in the day the Ricky Williams trade, and before that the Herschel Walker trade. And then when they traded did they trade Shaq to the Heat? Yeah, I think they traded Shaq to the Heat, but there wasn't nobody in return. It was just getting rid of Shaq. They had Caron Butler and stuff, but they didn't really get much of a return. Yeah, by the time Monday rolls around, list of trades published everywhere. Shout out to the Rockets. They have had a good season. He said the Rockets got to step up and win the West. They could. I look at the Rockets because they're kind of the mirror of, one, obviously I'm in Houston, but they're kind of mirror of the Pistons. They're a year ahead of us in every way. And, of course, we had the chance to draft Jalen Green, but we drafted Cade Cunningham, who I still like and I'm happy with. But that there's link, and then we got one of the, and they may have the better twin of the Thompson twins. Not talking about the group, but Amon Thompson, was Asar and Aman. So Westbrook Paul. When Westbrook get traded for Chris Paul? Wait, did Westbrook and Chris Paul get traded for each other? There's been a lot of player movement the past few years. And I'm like, I don't remember them getting traded. Was the trade deadline coming up? It must be coming up for that type of trade. But man, that's still a crazy trade. Oops, almost still a very crazy trade. Every time I hop on the internet, I'm just disappointed in new ways. People thought of to stop. Yeah, man, I gotta stop doom scrolling, man. Stop following sports when you were a kid. I see. Yeah, I kept following it. I still, I'm not following it as hardcore as I was when I was a kid. I followed it a lot deeper when I was a kid. Pause. Nowadays, I'm more of a casual, but I'm still shocked about that trade. I'm still shocked you would trade your 25-year-old best player on your team that just got you to a championship. But you know what? Looking at it, AD's actually, they're pretty close, man. They're pretty close in value. We'll see how this works out. AD shoots a better percentage, more rebounds, less assists than blocking, and I don't know. I don't know if I would have done it either way. But sometimes you just feel like, man, we need to shake something up. We need to do something different. We need to spice something up. And then going back to Jey Uso and wrestling, that's what they just did. They had, what was it? CM Punk, John Cena, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, all these people all in the Royal Rumble all at once. And then fucking went with Jey Uso to win. I did not have either this Luka trade or Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble when I woke up today. I thought for sure John Cena was going to win, bro, honestly. I know that now John Cena is in Hollywood. This is going to be his last wrestling year. I know that he's made a fucking ass of himself, literally. Fucking at the Oscars. He's maybe not been everyone's friend unless you are a certain communist party as far as politics goes. But he's still one of the best wrestlers, especially of the past 20 years. And it's kind of thought he was going to win the Royal Rumble, kind of wanted him to, but I'm glad that there's a shocking winner of the Royal Rumble. I'm glad it wasn't just, even though a lot of people are pissed because they don't like Jey Uso, but we were always sold on the premise that anybody could win the Royal Rumble. Who was a commie? John Cena had this thing where he apologized for considering Taiwan a country. So a lot of people was like, oh, man, he's a CCP puppet. John Cena's a sellout. I'm not going to – he's the type of guy, that if he gets in a room with a powerful enough exec and they tell him to jump, he'll ask how high. That's just what he is. That's what he's always been, for better or for worse. That's what he was as a wrestler. Was it Chronicles of Judo used to joke about The Rock and John Cena, about how they allegedly get down? Like, they're fan favorites at the Diddy parties, allegedly. The Rock and John Cena. That being neither here nor there. That, and maybe Roman Reigns is going to be that type of guy if he ever goes to Hollywood. We'll see. But they're fan favorites when it comes to getting executive action done. Allegedly. That notwithstanding, he apparently didn't tune Triple H up because he lost. And it was a great shot of him being like shocked. Just that shot. Like, oh my God, they fucking gave this to Jey Uso of all people. I'm happy for him. I'm happy we have a draft day. I vaguely remember, you said it and I looked it up. Oh man, I vaguely remember this. Oh man. I never saw it, but I do remember it. Was it good? Oh shit! It was just some the big QB star in the movie had P. Diddy as his agent. And Kevin Costner turned him down for character reasons. I see. That's crazy. That's funny. Yeah, in the movie, but that's just crazy that P. Diddy was the agent. Man, a lot of people went to those Diddy parties, man, And they're still happening even though Diddy's not there. And they were happening before anyone knew who Diddy was, when they were called Clive Davis parties, or when they were called Playboy parties with Hugh Hefner. Yeah, allegedly Hugh Hefner did like the young men as much as the young ladies. And the people that ran with him did. And a lot of people that you think, oh, they're at the Playboy Mansion partying. Yeah, they were doing more than just women, and even more than just men. They also liked them young, unfortunately. Yeah, 10 years later, it looks different. But that's how Hollywood's been. That's how Hollywood's still getting down. Still getting down right now. They are still getting down like that now. I think they're all fake. I got shit for that as far as rap beats, Brandon Holland. Which ones are fake or real? I got shit. Well, I don't know everyone that's going on. Obviously, we did have a lot. We had that, who was it? Chris Brown and the guy from the Migos. I can't remember which one. And then obviously the Drake, Kendrick Lamar. I said the Drake and Kendrick Lamar one was fake. I didn't really back up my point. Granted, and people got mad at that. I had a video about it, and I said it's fake. They're both on the same label. And so is J. Cole, by the way, who was kind of a party to that beef. All of them are on UMG. Granted, UMG is buying every fucking thing. Technically, shit, when I release these albums on Spotify, I think I might be on UMG. Fucking demons. But that's another can of worms. But they both were on the same major label, essentially. I know they got all these fucking imprints and shit, but it all goes back to the same people. Hefner allegedly, I'll say allegedly, because yes, allegedly Hugh Hefner, allegedly that's how Hollywood gets down. That there's a lot of people, a lot of executives in Hollywood that like him young, hence why there's the Epstein out. There's also blackmail with these situations too. Allegedly. Everything I'm saying is alleged. Vigilante Williamson loves life and did not kill himself. Neither did Epstein. So like these, allegedly there's both the taste for the youth and blackmailing people. So now there's a picture of you with the youth. And if you ever get out of line, or a video with you in the youth, because the alleged story, how it works in Hollywood and a lot of these higher up, not just Hollywood, high-end politics, maybe some of the people we might talk about in the next story, do some of the same thing. One of the crypto billionaires that got mysteriously died, who mysteriously drowned, he said that there was a honeypot island where they were blackmailing people. So you can look this information up. I covered that a few years ago when a lot of crypto billionaires died. I could do some Google searching if you want. But you can look up crypto billionaire death, and you'll find one who was who drowned. You find a few that drowned and a few that had some mysterious deaths. And one of them alleged of this honeypot situation that I believe either the CIA or the FBI had. So what does that have to do with Diddy and Hugh Hefner and all? There's a lot of people who help facilitate. We saw Jimmy Savile in England. He had connections to the royal family. And didn't one of them come out as a nonce? Some of these people are sick. Even Hunter has some nonce shit. These people are sick. And so you have guys like a Diddy, like a Hugh Hefner, like a Epstein, like a potentially a Michael Rubin, allegedly, who can help facilitate these things. You know what I mean? They may have madams or whoever under them to help get the youth or get the parties involved. And then you also have that stepping stone stuff. Hey, you want to be a star? You want to, I mentioned John Cena, I mentioned Rock, or Will Smith, or whatever. You want to be a star? Well, bust it wide open. That's how Hollywood is. This used to be conspiracy theory. Most of this is confirmable now. You can look it up for yourself. You don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Easier to call Drake's part fake. Kendrick was like a dagger. That's another thing. That's why we're talking about it. The whole beef. They're not like us. Try to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor. That's 7-8 months ago. Has any investigation taken place with Aubrey Drake Graham of Toronto, Canada? No investigation happened when he was messaging Millie Bobby Brown or when he was messaging Billie Eilish when she was 17. Now she's in her fucking mid-20s. But he was messaging her when she was like 17. Talk about can't wait till you turn 18 on Twitter. Look that up. Oh, man. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Maybe it's similar to Seth Green and his wife. And then Danny Masterson, a.k.a. Hyde from That 70s Show, he got caught with a lot of the youth and not taking no for an answer, allegedly. And they backed him up, even though he got convicted of it. Oh, wow. Sammy Davis Jr., he's an interesting character. A renowned and admitted devil worshiper. I'm not bullshitting. You can look at, again, everything I'm saying, you look it up and you tell me I'm wrong. Howdy, Tom Jensen. And yeah, you say he found this girlfriend murdered. This story's fishy. Probably is. Probably is. I don't know too much about that specific situation, I'll be honest. Like I said, I know about the quote unquote Danny Masterson situation. And I don't know. You know, Hollywood's a sick place. The political world's a sick place. Luke Besson, I haven't heard of him. I know, shit, you can go into Nickelodeon. The guy Dan Snyder. I mean, at least they finally made a documentary on Dan Snyder. Who is this guy? I had never heard of him, Luke Besson. He made The Fifth Element. I like that movie. That Worship in Coincidence crew does go ahead, yeah. Unfortunately, Leon the Professional is a classic movie too. Oh man, he's made some pretty good movies. But he probably is a creep. Shit, the asshole's fucking up Superman right now. He's got a lot of creepy ass tweets and a lot of creepy stuff with him, James Gunn. A lot of these guys are creeps. Man. A lot of these and again, not just not just these actors and celebrities. Don't believe me? Ask Seth Rich. Oh wait, you can't, because somebody blew the back of his head out when he leaked some emails from the DNC, and we found out that certain guy spent a lot on refreshments. Let's just say. And you can look that up. Again, look everything up. Don't just listen to what I'm saying. Look up what, was it Obama buying $60,000 to $70,000? I know Chicago is known for his hot dogs and his pizza, but thousands and thousands of dollars worth being shipped out? I mean, you tell me what it is. You do your research on it, you tell me. Same with, what was it? One of the Clinton aides, who also liked them young, allegedly. So, but shit, I'm no fan of RNC. You see, no, I didn't. I'm trying to detox from politics. Leon the Professional is actually partially based about how Luke Besson met his first wife. Really? Oh man, that's a bit creepy. It was a decent age gap, if I remember correctly. Nah, I didn't. I'm trying to detox from politics, but I keep seeing shit. That's why I'm talking about this Elon shit. Man, listen, both sides are the same side, or two wings of the same devil, bro. And I that's getting more and more apparent. Was the guy who had the shooting in the school. Wow. That's crazy. Man. And now, let's I'll at least get into the story since we're talking about politics. This is, ain't got to theorize on these type of conspiracies. You got the fucking billionaire foreign national auditing the U.S. government. So, here's the craziest thing. This department is named after the fucking meme coin. So the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, run by President Trump's billionaire advisor and Tesla CEO Elon Musk, has gained access to sensitive Treasury data, including Social Security and Medicare payment systems. According to people familiar with the situation, the move by DOGE, Trump administration task force, assigned to find ways to fire federal workers, cut programs, slash federal regulations, means it can have wide leeway to access important taxpayer data, amongst other things. The New York Times first reported the news of the group's access of massive federal payment systems. The two spoke to the AP on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak publicly. The highest ranking Dem Senate on a Senate Finance Committee, Juan Ryden of Oregon, said in a letter to Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, expressed concern that officials associated with Musk may have intended to access these payments systems illegally to withhold payments to a number of any programs. To put it bluntly, these payment systems simply cannot fail any politically motivated meddling and then risk severe damage to our country and the economy. News also comes after Treasury's acting Deputy Secretary resigned from his position after more than 30 years of service. Crazy work. The Washington Post, I did hear about that situation. Jesus. Washington Post reported that Liebrecht resigned his position after Musk and Doge requested access. So basically he told him no, then all of a sudden he had to resign. So that looks fishy. The fiscal service performs vital functions of government. The letter did not mention the Doge request to access this. Musk said on Saturday, response to his post on social media platform about the departure of Liebrecht, the Doge team discovered, amongst other things, that payment approval officers at the Treasury were instructed to approve payments, even to known fraudulent terrorist groups. They literally never denied a payment in their entire career, not even once. But he did not provide proof of this claim. Doge is originally headed by Musk and Vivek, who vowed to jointly cut billions from the federal budget, ushering in a mass headcount reduction across federal bureaucracy. Okay, I read the whole article. Never really done anything, but he's a little leech. Talking about the guy with the DNC. I don't trust either side, man. I don't trust either side. Vivek left Doge because he's running to be the governor of Ohio. Fuck them all. I don't trust politicians. I don't trust Elon. I don't like the idea of some foreign national having access to the government's, a foreign national who is not a member of the United States government having access to the Treasury. And let's be honest, this is the type of guy who literally lies about what he does on Path of Exile. He's a weirdo, man. I don't trust this guy. Him, Peter Thiel, Vivek, all these assholes should not be having as much power as they. Oh yeah, I can't 100% assume that members of intelligence. I can 100% assume there's members of intelligence agencies in. Oh yeah, listen. I think I've been saying for years that Trump has controlled opposition at best. A lot of people look at him as this maverick. Man, he's yet to focus on anything that helps the normal person. He's keep focusing on these tariffs. Well, are you going to build up manufacturing to facilitate the potential loss of product and to slow down the product internationally so we can build it up domestically? Are you helping domestic manufacturing get on its feet? Maybe in the long term, but when you do shit like this and just rush it, and listen, I'm a small government guy. I wish the entire time of my existence that we had a government efficiency group, right, who was down to cut the fat in government. But Elon Musk has been elected to no position. No one elected him. He sold some fucking electric cars, which aren't perfect. This guy does not have this great track record. I don't want to. This is the guy who said, yeah, my fucking car is bulletproof, and then he throws a baseball through the fucking window, right? This is the guy who lied about being on Path to Exile. I have the little picture of him with his hair, and then obviously that salute from a few weeks ago. He's a weird fucking dude. I don't get the hype. I got the hype because, you know, he was in the fucking Iron Man, and we're so fucking stupid. We want think he's Tony Stark. We want to think Bezos is Lex Luthor. We wanted to live in a fucking comic book. No, he's just some fucking asshole. He's some nepo baby asshole who got some indie pop star pregnant and has some rich asshole dad. And he's a rich asshole dad himself. He has like 100 kids. Some of them don't even have names. And now he's got the access to everyone's fucking information. And great, because we don't have enough. And let's be honest. I'll say this. He's not the only high-ranking corporate dickhead who has way more government access than he should. He's just the most famous high-ranking corporate dickhead that has way more government access than he should. I'm no fool. I know that. And I know a lot of people who care about the right-left paradigm will say, well, but the Democrat. I'm sure they're doing evil shit. I'm not saying they're not evil. I'm just done with this binary shit. Both sides clearly suck dick. Yeah, Trump has just done shit. He's done stuff. Don't necessarily think if he fixes American dependency problem. I don't know if he has. I mean, it looks bleak. It looks like he's about to run us off of a fucking cliff. I hope I'm wrong. We'll see. We'll fucking see. Like I said, who's actually the smartest tech billionaire? Probably somebody none of us know. We don't know his name. I bet you he's not famous, whoever he is. Somebody we don't know his name. That's who it is. It ain't always who they put in front of you. I mean, listen, if you've been wondering if Elon's a Fed, oh shit, how come I didn't see motherfuckers on Twitch? Shout out to Mace of Kebab. How the Lakers deal with the adversity of pairing a star next to LeBron who's never been tie whipped buck naked on the room floor. Is that true? Or you just being funny? We were talking about his conditioning just a second ago. Massey, I'm sorry, I didn't see a comment. I did not see a comment. Surely this will hurt just in the long run. I would think it would hurt him in the long run. Maybe it's because I didn't do the pop out chat. I'm sorry, brother. This is 1:55. Well, you about 20 minutes. You might still be here. So if you are still here, yo, I saw Chip Kelly in the fucking what was it, George Bush? He was in that fucking airport. What do you think about Chip Kelly? How would oh shit, hey Cody. So you came over to the I just found your Twitch comment, bro. Thank you for coming over to YouTube, brother. I appreciate it. Adrenaline in my soul. Elon's got pretty bad judgment, at least when it comes to public relations. It's more than just that. Like I said, remember that shit where he was talking about the Cybertruck supposed to be so indestructible, and then he throws a fucking baseball through it, and then we've seen people crack it. We've seen all sorts of shit with the Cybertruck. I mean, I think it looks cool. A lot of people don't. But we've seen that it's not the best thing since sliced bread. We've seen a bunch of issues with the Teslas. He's a paper tiger, bro, and he's a fucking Fed, man. And then, you know, the Path to Exile thing, if you don't know about that, I talked about it with Matt from Fireball Productions last week on his podcast. You can check out his channel. But he lied about playing this game. He's just a weird fucker. I don't know whether he was how I say he probably was, but I don't really give a fuck because I consider both sides, man. I'm done with the left is plenty shitty too. We can bash the left all day, but I'm done with the hero worship of the right, man. And I don't like this guy. He's been elected to nothing, man. We didn't hold an election for him. We held an election, and it was between this orange asshole and this bitch who had hoes twerking on stage trying to twerk her way into the presidency. So yes, the orange asshole was clearly better. But doesn't mean better relative to what? To some twerking thought? I'm about to say I always want to say Montel Jordan. It's Montel Williams. This is how we do it. But yeah, I did see Chip Kelly flew into Houston. But what do you think of Chip Kelly? I still think of him as the guy who fucked up Philly. I know he's done a lot since then. Obviously, he was the OC at OSU, but he's still the guy who, when he was a head coach, he fucked up Philly. So I wonder, I wonder if he's a little bit better at college than he is in the pros. That's what I think about Chip Kelly. But a lot of people are hot on him. Maybe he is. Maybe he gets to prove me wrong by being C.J. Stroud, because he would have been C.J. Stroud's OC. I don't keep up with college as well, but he would have been C.J. Stroud's OC a few years ago, right? So that may work. And I mean, listen, he's clearly here, so he's at least interviewing. But let me get to Cody. You switch platforms just to talk to me. I appreciate that, brother. How will the Lakers deal with the adversity of pairing a star next to LeBron, who has never been towel whipped butt naked on the locker room floor? Allegedly, if one of the early rumors is he was traded because he's not in good condition, and he's missed a lot of games this year. Problem escalates to the Lakers locker room floor. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with either side of this trade. How are him and LeBron going to get along when they have such a similar play style and both need the ball? And does Luka have a conditioning problem? Yeah, he exaggerates shit. Yeah, it was, the game's called Path to Exile. That's a Diablo clone, but yeah, he lied about that. It is crazy. He's not getting, you think he's also crazy that he's elected. Listen, if people like him, or if people listen, I get it. But, the Optimus robots were partially remote control. See, this is no, I didn't know that, Fizz. This is the shit I'm talking about. It's just always, he's the fucking Wizard of Oz. That's who he is. He's the fucking Wizard of Oz. But when he makes himself out more than what he is. Everybody thinks he's a little bit more than what he is. And then when you look behind the curtain, it's just a motherfucker there. It's not some wizard. It's just a motherfucker there with a projector. Now, I agree. Making anybody the coach or GM. You said Bill O'Brien. Which, I mean, goodness, he made some stupid trades. He wasn't a terrible coach, even, but being coach and GM, I obviously now Hopkins is a lot longer in the tooth, a lot later in his career, but he traded him when he was still in his fucking prime. So you said maybe Chip Kelly's like Bill O'Brien, going back to BH, Brandon Hallam. They can handle the offense, but the second you make him a coach, give him GM duties, they fuck it up. I don't think anybody should be coach or GM. I think that's been proven many a time. Just like people shouldn't be an owner or GM. Looking at you, Jerry. But I don't know. We'll see. When has Chip Kelly succeeded as a pro? I feel like he's been better when he was at Oregon and then obviously with Ohio State. But when as a pro has he succeeded? Or was he an OC? He was an OC in the pros for a little bit though. I don't know. But he's got hype about him again. So we'll see. He needs cheaper programs. The government subsidies must not be enough, right? That's another thing. This guy's been getting subsidies through all the eras. No matter who's been in office, he's been getting bread this whole fucking time. You know what? He's practically been a member of the government this whole time. And yeah, and now he's going to twist. They're doing the craziness. Think about this. There's a lot to be said about a lot of the immigrant thing, right? So there's definitely a lot of fucked up people coming across the border. We've talked about other countries emptying out their fucking prisons to send them across the border. But we also know, especially I say this as a Texan, only been in Texas 3 years, but I like it here. We also know that a lot of immigrants have provided a lot of labor for cheap, a lot of labor that helps And I'm not saying, listen, I wish everybody, we know labor has become too cheap to the powers that be, to the point of societal collapse. And it does suck, but there's been a lot of cheap labor provided by a lot of immigrants, especially in places like Texas. And that cheap labor is become damn near essential for the infrastructure of said states. It's damn near essential in some industries. And to just toss it all out, and then go behind, well, let's go grab these immigrants from my thing. You know, when they were calling you a fascist, there have been times where I defended it. And then when that happens, because your butt buddy said so, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Listen, I'm not saying that you should exploit either group of brown people financially and exploit either group of brown person's labor. But it's like, man, you're going to destroy the infrastructure. You've picked one group of brown people. Instead of coming up with some sort of solution and saying, hey, let's see if we can create a path to citizenship for immigrants that are valuable, and let's deport and get rid of everyone who's dangerous or not. Instead of doing something like that, you're just tossing everyone out in this case and just making sure you immigrate people specifically to help you program everybody's job away. Excuse me if I feel some type of way about this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about this shit. Especially when you're when your guy's the Wizard of Oz. So, the Optimus robots, according to Fizz, can really walk and talk, which is still fucking scary. But many of their tasks performed were human controlled. Oh man, that clicks up with something. I wish I could. Oh boy, the robots aren't good enough to do all the stuff humans do yet. God damn it, Fizz. Oh my God. One day, oh man, I wish I could say more. I don't even know if I can say some of the stuff I've already said. Hillary Clinton is going to have an army of Optimus bots confirmed. I wonder how I got a subsidy. We were talking about Matthew Lesko. You guys remember him? I want to see if you can still get a grant. This guy used to come. Shout out to the old heads who remember him. I was talking about him. I think it was it West Stream? This guy would come in dressed like the Riddler, late night, do commercials. He had this big ass book with all these different grants that you could get, government money that no one claims. I wonder if that can still be done. I would love to get a subsidy or a grant. So hey, look it up. See if you're eligible for a grant, or if you could get eligible for a grant. Maybe you can. They're making the Federal Reserve shift course on the steps they were going to take this month. The next couple, have to see if it continues. Run into Mexican welders that were going out to SpaceX sites. So I guess he's going to keep some of them. That I have heard about that, Fizz. I am aware that that's a thing out there. There was the one case. Was it 8 to 10 years ago? There was one case that went viral, went global, of the gang grape out there in India, because it was on a bus and nobody did anything. They basically tore her apart and killed her. So yeah, that's a rep. You know what I'm saying? But they can program for cheap, Fizz. So they can program for cheap. So the non-elected foreign national who controls our government is going to bring them in. So they can program for cheap for his company to build something that he's faking the fuck on, as you just talked about, so it can take away the few jobs that we still got. I was given this word. I didn't make it. Oh, even kids, Jesus. I was given this word. I didn't make it, Fizz. Fuck me, brother. I felt better talking about Luke. This is why I don't like talking about politics. I'm trying to be positive. The Luka trade's intriguing. Jey Uso's intriguing. And you're like, oh, yeah. That's right. Most powerful people in the world are intentionally making it worse. That's right. Oh shit! I forgot all about fucking. Hey, Mr. Greg Gregory, I totally forgot about the fucking UFC. Totally forgot. It is, yes. I'm calling about your extended warranty. Companies partner with Antonio Brown to make ads in my feed is hilarious. It is hilarious, Brandon Holland. Appreciate you being here, Mr. Greg Gregory. AI. Gotta add the AI. Superstar. Yeah, I saw Jay Uso then I went to the gym and then I came back. Luka Doncic had got traded for Anthony Davis. Craziness. I forgot all about UFC. I've kind of fallen off the past few months with UFC. I've fallen off with combat sports. I mean, I did see Usyk beat up on Fury again. But even before that, I've kind of fallen off. I need to kind of get back with it. What was the last UFC I saw? Was it the DDP win? When DDP beat Izzy? Usyk made Fury retire. What do you think about Usyk retiring? I don't know if he is or isn't. I guess maybe Usyk Dubois to reunify again the belts. Which, I mean, he already beat him the first time. Which, there was that controversial punch. You know what I'm saying? There was that controversial punch. But, I mean, outside of that punch, Usyk beat the shit out of Dubois. Usyk beat the braces out of Dubois outside of that little, that punch that wasn't low, wasn't. I thought it was a ref's decision because it was right on the belt line. I seen it called both ways. Some refs will let it go. Some refs don't. He didn't. That's just, I'm going to live with it. Some people thought more of it. I feel like more people thought it was a illegal hit than didn't. But there was some people who, like I said, I seen it go either way. But it's like, I don't know if I really want to see Usyk. I mean, I would kind of want to see Usyk fight Joseph Parker, but that's not a big money fight. I don't know who Usyk. Maybe Deontay, but do you still want to see Deontay Wilder fight anybody now? Does Deontay Wilder want to see anybody fight? I mean, when he fought Zane, he looked like that killer instinct is gone. And listen, good for him. He's made a lot of money. Parker's fighting next month. That's the fight I want to see. But Parker doesn't really have, who's Parker fighting next month? Parker doesn't have like a name. Like he's not AJ. We don't want to see Usyk beat up on AJ. That's the problem. Usyk to beat up on everybody. Usyk to beat up on everybody that matters. And, I listen, I still would want to see Deontay Wilder and Usyk just to see it. But I don't feel like if Deontay Wilder put in the training camp of training camps, which he's known not to do, and trained his ass off, he still only got to hit that. He only has to hit somebody one time. But, I mean, Usyk got a decent chin. He got hit quite a bit by AJ and had no problem with it. I mean, obviously you would think Wilder's a harder puncher. Maybe, I still, speaking of Usyk will be interesting. But again, I don't think these names move the box office. Oh, Parker is Dubois. Okay. So Usyk, I guess, can fight the winner. So Parker Dubois is going to be interesting. I didn't know that. Oh, man. See, I told you I've fallen off. That's interesting. Zane retired. See, I've fallen completely off. He was up there. He was like 40. He's a man. He's 40. And he had a late, kind of Indian summer career. After that Hergovich fight, he kind of had a second win of his career. Which that fight I thought he won, but he got cheated out of 41. So yeah, plus he had like heart issues and stuff, or kidney issues. He had kidney issues. That was probably an issue he had throughout his career because he had like hydration issues and shit like that. So 41 with kidney issues, and then anybody when you're like 6'8", 6'9", the odds your organs getting fucked up are fucking sky high. So Shout out to, I didn't know he retired. Like I said, I haven't watched boxing news in a while. I kind of fell off. I'm very disappointed in a lot of the American welter to whatever scene. The Hercules fight was bad for Zane. So upset. I feel like it ended up being a loss that kind of helped him because so many people thought that he won. He ended up getting the fight with what's his name, Joe Joyce, and then he beat him, and then he ended up beating him again. Obviously, he had no answers for Joseph Parker, who he mentioned, who beat him and Deontay. But I think that fight ended up. Now, Hergovic himself, shout out to Croatia, shout out to Sencha Dildo. That should be the me. That's a dope take. What the fuck she cried about? She ain't getting deported. You can stay Selena. Shit, what you mad about? Oh, shit. Yeah, that was wild work. But yeah, there's definitely still fights I would like to see. I know how a lot of promoters think. I mean, we'll see. Turkey Al Sheik thinks a little bit more like a fan. He's saving boxing. Zane beats Joyce. Joyce beats Parker. Parker beats Zane. Yep, that's how boxing works. That's how boxing works. That's why you can never say, well, just because somebody beats somebody and then that person beats somebody else, that the one will beat the three. Because you don't know. Because that's how it works. It's rock, paper, scissors sometimes. Because styles make fights. Sometimes it's just rock, paper, scissors. Selena Gomez's mother is Italian. Her absent father is Mexican. I don't know, because I don't know much about Selena Gomez. I don't even remember why she's famous. Was she High School Musical? I don't, like I said, Selena Gomez. I don't remember why she was famous. I don't think I've seen anything she's in. Because I was the High School Musical, was I in high school? I think I feel like I just got out of high school when that shit got popular. And it shows you how old I am. But so I barely know. I know of her. It's one of those names you hear, but I don't know who these motherfuckers are like that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be knowing. Just like the bitch from Wicked. What's her name? Oh, shit. I can't. For me, she was just kind of there one day. Yeah. But Ariana Grande, that bitch. Like, I know of her. I've heard the name. Like, I thought she was a singer. I guess she is. I don't know her, though. Like, you know what I mean? I don't remember. Like, I don't know any Ariana Grande songs. Now, maybe I do and don't know that I know them. Right? And you say, oh, that song. So, oh, okay, I've heard that. But, like, I don't know who these motherfuckers be. It's the whole past 10, 15 years of celebrities. There's so many celebrities like that. Like, I don't know who that is. Shit, just like even like that being said, would. Fair enough. Yeah, she's not a bad looking girl, but say well, just all these celebrities. Like, I don't be know that. They just show up one day and I guess they just famous. I don't know what movie or show or song or nothing. I've become an old man. I'm not becoming. I am an old man. I'll be 38 this year. Jeez, people be lit on fire at the subway. Dark. Golly. Deontay Wilder's won one fight since November of 2019. See, that's the scary thing about the post-pandemic. Because now you look at 2019 as 6 years ago. 2020, if you used to feel like, oh, man, it was just last year. And now it's like, damn, all this time has passed. It's like, feel like a chunk of my life. Like, my whole 30s just got chunked. In 2019, I was in my early 30s. I'm now in my late 30s. That whole time. Oh, yeah, Robert Hellenius, who knocked the fuck out of. So, damn, when you think about that, because that was kind of a comeback win. That was a gap between him and who did he fight? Was it the second Fury fight? Yeah, it was right after the second Fury fight, wasn't it? Or was it after the third? Turned 18 April 2020. Man, oh man, that's rough. That's rough business. He lost to Fury 2 times, then fought Parker after that. Oh man. Let's say. Didn't see it crying. Then they released congestion pricing the next day. Talk about time. I didn't see somebody got set on fire in the subway. Holy shit. Man, you see a lot of crazy shit. People are fucking losing it, man. There's a lot of crazy shit. Now I see why you're struggling, bro. I feel sorry for I feel sorry for your generation. Your generation, I thought we got dealt a shitty hand, and we did, but good Lord, they dealt y'all the shittiest hand. And it's only about to get shittier for everybody. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. I do know what's going to happen. Fucking neo-feudalism, technocratic, cyberpunk, neo-feudalistic future. Everybody getting a chip. The money system crashing. Lots of people dying. Lots of people crashing out. Everything in Revelation. That's what's about to happen. I hope not. Well, I want the Most High's will to be done, but I don't want to see all that pain. I don't want to experience that pain. I don't want us to experience this pain. And I want it to be a paper tiger. I don't want it to be as bad. But man, it's already bad. There's already influence. Bro, don't y'all, I'm sure y'all do know. You can watch How to Be Homeless. Because so many people are dealing with being homelessness and living in their car that now there's a whole way of trying to get around. And why are they making homelessness illegal in a lot of places? So it's illegal to be homeless. How are you going to make it illegal to be homeless? What am I supposed to do? You make it too expensive to live, and it's illegal to be homeless. How can you make it illegal to be homeless without public housing? For everyone, which obviously they ain't gonna do, and I don't necessarily want, because why do they call a project? Because it's a project, an experiment, and we're in it only as objects. One of the few intelligent things another Diddy associate, Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, has ever said. But housing projects are totally FBI, CIA drug. They're just there to run drugs and to put people in private prisons. That's all housing projects are for. That's all they're for. And I'm like, you can look again, like I've been saying, look it up if you don't believe me. Look up the Iran-Contra affair. The pharmaceutical companies. They keep telling you Molly, Percocet, Perc 30s, Wockhardt, promethazine. I can't put down the cup. With lean, I fell in love. So you got the pharmaceutical companies are definitely making their fair share of money off the drug trade nowadays. Anyways, champ, much love. Keep killing it. Catch you later. All right, peace. Yeah, I'm down to do some collabs. I'm not as collab happy as I once was, but I'm down. I'm on Instagram. That's probably the only platform, so hit me up there. But you can always hit me up there. I'm way more active on Instagram than I used to be. I used to not be active. I'm pretty active on it. I mean, I'm not as active posting, but I'm active watching. So if you message me on Instagram at VigilanteWilliamson, and anybody wants to, you can follow. I think it's in the. Let me see. Is it in the description? I'll toss it out to the chat. But anybody who ever wants to message me on Instagram, that's the best. That is now the official best place to reach me. Is Instagram. So if you want to talk to me about anything, I'll holler at you. I'm not no bougie guy. You can go ahead and slide in the DMs. All right, peace out, Fizz. Even though we probably get out here in not too long. So yeah, you can just hit me up on Instagram. Anybody. That's for anybody. Anybody. So I appreciate you being here, Mr. Grant Gregory. And so yeah. Cody said NYPD cop literally walks by as the lady is trying to walk past the perp. Whoa. I guess talking about this fire situation. Put trans to your application. Fizz is already a brother, but that don't work. Being a brother don't help DEI. You got to be, who, I don't know why any black person is so excited about affirmative action DEI. You know who DEI, or I don't say DEI. DEI is a more recent iteration. But traditionally, y'all do know the group that was most helped by affirmative action. Y'all know this, right? I don't know if I should pause or whatever. But why people in particular, and specifically white women. White women have always benefited from affirmative action more than any other group. Allegedly. Look that up. You tell me, hey, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not always right. But yeah, white women. And so that's always been a gimmick. So I mean, I was like, oh, you getting rid of it? Didn't affect me. Didn't affect me. Saw a guy turn his Camaro into a live vehicle or a live-in vehicle with a sink and everything. A sink? Well, good for him. How do you put a sink in a Camaro? I've seen the van life thing. You know, at a certain point, the van life thing was some hipster shit where everybody was, oh, man, you know, van life and hipsters, and it was kind of like it was kind of a flex. But, you know, do I even have this? Oh, maybe that's why I didn't have my Twitch messages popping up. Oh, well. Hopefully they still pop up. But, you know, they had the van life, and I've seen people have, you know, mobile homes and sinks and stuff like that. But putting it in like a, you know, Camaro, that's pretty impressive. And shit, we might all have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Shit. We're in trouble. I don't see how the problem gets worse. Hell, this immigration thing, I'm worried. You know, housing just started to get a little bit more affordable here in Texas, and I was hoping to one day buy a house. Hopefully, I was hoping next year to buy a house. Maybe I still can. I am worried that housing affordability is going to skyrocket because one of the reasons that housing was a little bit cheaper here in Texas is because the supply is not running out. There's plenty, especially where I'm at, plenty of space, plenty of stuff being developed, plenty of housing still being built. Yeah, they are starting to build a lot more apartments, but still plenty of housing, still plenty of houses. And now that labor just got shorted because they got these ICE task force. So that's a thing. But peace out, Fizz, again. Saw a guy camp in the Alaskan winter with no tent and no sleeping bag. Holy shit. With what? Just raw dogging it in the cold? How did he survive? How did he not die? Coincidence crew passed a new law to declare all businesses they own to be minority owned. Oh, wow. Oh, shit. So basically 100% of the businesses in the U.S. now. You ain't kidding. Oh, boy. Well, y'all know I can't talk about that group. You know I can't do that. You know I can't do that. You know nobody can. So, just a coincidence, man. Oh, here it is. Looking for my lighter. But, man, that's crazy. Not shocking, though. Not shocking. Wow, that's Big P and energy, pause. Caribou and buffalo high. He made a big fire near the root ball of a tree that fell over. Holy shit. That's fucking tough. That's some ancestral shit, because that's probably how they had to get it in, right? Just use some hides, and if they came across a tree that fell over or came across a tree, getting the fire done. Holy shit. That's fucking nuts. That's how we gonna be living. Shit. So I guess we all got to figure that shit out. Shit. Unless the fucking automated police task force wipes us out. Because there's always that. If you're replacing workers with AI robots, then they would need 1 million more workers invited in. Well, I mean, that they definitely are trying to invite programmers in. And there is something to be said about how advanced is AI really. I mean, we've seen they do have those cars. I would never get into them, those automated cars, but we've also seen them spin around and get into accidents, and we've seen a lot of craziness with some of the AI stuff. Fizz just told us that, your boy Lon's robots ain't quite what they seem. So how far off are we really from automation? I have seen that Bezos had his I guess there were some people striking because they got a lot of labor disputes at the Zon, the old Zon. I used to work for Amazon a long time ago. It is a tough job, and they got labor disputes, so they're using some automation there to try to test that out. But yeah, I feel like current AI is not quite ready for prime time. They're probably a good practical 5 years at least out. That said, we still have a shitty economy. And we have a crab in a barrel economy. I think that's why we have such a quote unquote hater generation where everyone's just angry at everything. And I'm not always helping myself. It's a very angry time. And rightfully so, honestly, man. This is a very tough time financially. I know I'm not the only one having a tough time. I am starting to just get used to it. The roof is still over my head. Still got a job for now. And I'm still paying my bills. That's a blessing. Everybody can't say that. Especially when, like I said, so many people are just starting to adapt to living in their cars, adapt to all these different living situations because of our economic situation. And still this orange fucker, for me, hasn't done anything that's going to practically help me. You know what I mean? What happened to the tax shit? That's the shit I want to see. Get rid of the IRS. Get rid of the taxes. Let me keep all my check. If I can get the number on my check, that'll get the economy going in a heartbeat. If everybody got the real number on their check, that'll get the economy. You just gave the 350 million people 20-30% raise all at once. You know what I'm saying? We'll get the economy will be going like a motherfucker. You do some shit like that. And whatever happens, remember Herman Cain 999? Rest in peace. That was the coldest shit. That would have been some cold shit. Talk about politicians. I wish Herman Cain would have won the presidency. Herman Cain should have been the first black presidency. 999, that'd have been the hardest shit in the streets ever. I'm a taxation and theft guy. For those who don't know, I pay my taxes, so don't. But I think taxation is absolute theft, especially property taxes. I mean, we don't even own our property that we work so hard to try to get, which has become a rare thing with all the bullshit in this economy. I think taxation is theft. One of the very few things that Trump ran on, especially this time. Of course, you've heard me smoke, which I don't see anything happen with that. At least bring it back to a state level. I mean, Texas probably still won't, but damn. At least decriminalize it federally. But in any event, outside of that, taxes, getting rid of the IRS, lowering or eliminating taxes. It's absolutely theft and extortion by the government. If you could get rid of taxes, you could do so. The economy instantly improves because now everyone has more buying power. Now, what's the risk? The price of everything go up. Well, now we've been dealing with that hyperinflation, Bidenflation, whatever, post-pandemic inflation, whatever. We had remember the pandemic, when the biggest wealth transfer in human history happened. And the wealthy got infinitely more wealthy, and the poor got infinitely more poor, and the value of everything went to shit. Don't forget that. Never forget. But I felt like, man, if you could do something about the taxes, that would be a relief. If you could do something about the oil, that would be a relief. But now with all these tariff situations and these things having not been addressed for the taxes, it looks like the best case scenario get worse before they get better. And more likely scenario just get worse and progressively just fucking get worse. And that's just fucking it. We just get born to this oligarchical corpo nightmare. And now, okay, you know, the corpos were back in the left a few years ago. Now it looks like the corpos is back in the orange man. Like, that's not better. The corpos are still, guess whose dick is still stirring the drink? It's still the fucking corpos. That's the flow of energy. They're like, all right, we was using the left. We're done with them now. You know, just like the corpos took the left. Y'all remember the Toy Story meme? Like, I don't want to play with you anymore. And he drops Woody in the slow motion. That's what the corpo did with the left. They had all the woke trans motherfuckers and shit scaring the shit out of everybody with their purple hair, the neighborhood, and all this bullshit. And the corpos, they don't want to play with that anymore. They dropped the trans woman of color replacement for whatever action figure they had, and they picked up this orange motherfucker. And now they're playing with the orange man. And the difference is the orange man has a much more fervent cult behind him. So we'll see what the fuck happens. 1 year the government took enough to pay my car. Yeah, I don't even like looking at it, man. It could change my life to have that type of money. Especially I just got my lease locked in, so at least I know that won't go up. Shit, I'll be in business, literally in business. That said, we hit the hour, or about to hit the hour and a half mark, and we also started late. But this has been a fun stream. Definitely wish it was earlier so a few more people could participate, but I'm glad I got you guys to participate, man. You guys are dope. Shout out to Brandon Holland. Shout out to Cody. Feel free to sub if you haven't. Thank you for, I'm sorry I didn't see you when you was on Twitch, but you showed up to YouTube. You're cool for that. So yeah, man, we stream. I'm trying to stream twice a week because I'm trying to make an album. And I say that I might actually stream making beats tomorrow. So I might stream making beats tomorrow and making beats and playing some games. Cause that's what we typically do. We play games. I gotta finish this fucking Spider-Man. So we'll see. Tomorrow I kind of want to stream. So I might. But we'll call it for the night. This has been fun. This has been real. It's been real fun. So we're done. So I appreciate everybody who's watching this live or on the playback. Hopefully we do get some people on the playback. I thought it was a fun episode. Good episode. Lot of stuff to cover. And we'll probably touch on it again tomorrow when there's a few more people in the chat. But you guys were awesome. So thank you again, Tom Jensen, Cody, Brandon Holland, Fish, Chozo, Mr. Grant Gregory stopped there for a little bit. Anybody else? That might have been it. And if it wasn't, please blame my head and not my heart. Oh, yeah, El Gordo stopped there for a little bit as well. Yeah, Tom Jensen. And hopefully I said everyone's name. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. Even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night. God bless. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Peace.